It was quite a night in Nashville. 100,000 people, they figured, downtown. The Pittsburgh Penguins ruined the party a little bit by capturing back-to-back Stanley Cups, the fifth in franchise history, led by their captain, Nick.
And it's all been about Sidney Crosby. Let's face it, for the past 12 months, the things that he's been able to accomplish, his second Stanley Cup. Of course, the World Cup is where it all started this past September. Only 3 players in history with back-to-back Conn Smythes. Of course, Bernie Parent with the Philadelphia Flyers, his owner, Mario Lemieux. And then in Game 6, he solidifies his legacy with his second Conn Smythe. And of course, we're showing all the rest of the hardware over his career. Let's face it, as far as his will to win, it's unmatched in the game. You just hope one day a Connor McDavid, a Bo Horvat, an Austin Matthews, they're watching, they're paying attention, but there's no question that he set a new bar for these modern day players.
You know, Scott Oak asked Mario Lemieux about Crosby's place in the game, and when you look at the greatest players in history, you think some combination of Gretzky or Howe, Richard, and Lemieux sit in that top 5 now. I mean, and you think about everything you just showed in that graphic, Nick, and he lost almost 2 years at the prime of his career. I think we're looking at a top 5 player in the history of hockey, though I don't want to have to vote on which of those other 5 is going out.
Well, and you think of Matt Murray and the goaltender and maybe his legacy down the road. He still has a long way to go. He's going to win, hopefully, more cups. But I think of Ken Dryden and how he started off. That might be, this is my favorite right here. Fleury handing the cup to Matt Murray. Honestly, the respect that Matt Murray talks about that he has for his goaltending partner, he is so lucky, and he knows it, to have a partner like that to learn from. And if in fact that is the last of Marc-Andre Fleury here, what a way to go out.
And what a performance for sure for Matt Murray. And Elliot, you could really sense, we talked so much about the big four in defense for the Nashville Predators. It was a bit of a chip on the shoulder of the defense of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Well, it's another one. If you watch Scott Oak's interview with Brian Dumoulin, he starts to ask him about that, and Dumoulin just looks off to the camera because it looked like, I've still got to answer this question. You look at those guys, it's the first time in NHL history a team has won the Stanley Cup with their defensemen who played in the final not having a single Norris Trophy vote between them. Murray was outstanding. He was a reason they shut the door. I think he stopped his last 51 shots. But those guys played smart and safe. And I think it's a great credit to them, and I'm happy for them because all of us were talking about how they couldn't do it.
No question they were motivated with the fact that there was a lot of talk that they couldn't win without Chris Letang. And I think when we start reflecting on these back-to-back Stanley Cups, we're going to notice that they were a lot better than the credit that we gave them.
Mm-hmm. 277 days ago, Kelly, you did your first broadcast in the World Cup pre-tournament in St. Petersburg. Yeah. So it's been a long haul. It was really a joy to work with you during that, during the regular season, and, of course, this great playoffs ending here in Nashville tonight. Thanks, gents.
Thank you, Ron.
Sidney Crosby here with a moment of celebration. You're never so on trial as in moments of excessive good fortune. Sidney Crosby has had a trophy life. What a performance by the Pittsburgh Penguins.